how you doing? Good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are in the world. And my side of the world is lunchtime. And during this video, I wanted to share a little bit what I understand, what I have learned about the language of the light. I normally receive a lot of questions in the post from the codes from the videos, and this is going to be a free service. The one that would like to practice with me, would like to, you guys can do it with me, or just observe, go with the flow. Thank you so much. And then at the end, I would like to do half only light language, and then in the other answer whatever questions you have that will serve you in your own practice. What it is, where does it come from, what I can understand it. I see the codes, but I don't know how to integrate it or how to use it. Things that will help you to grow or give you a foundation within your own journey. I do think like language is going to be the language of New Earth, because New Earth for me represents that we are all one, so we don't have barrier of language, of race, of color, of ethnicity. And then like language is going to come as a telepathic communication where we all can exchange our soul in the frequency of unconditional love. I hope that makes sense. Let me see if I have your questions. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Please share with me if you would like me to do this every 2 weeks or 1 week. This is a time that works out for me, but I'm open to accept suggestions. My idea is that it's going to last between 30 minutes and maximum an hour. So I am willing. Is it the sound okay? I hope it is. And give me a second. I'm trying to connect. How are you all doing? There is a lot of things going on. Tomorrow is going to be the free service where I get the answers for your guys. But I feel like the energy, it's pushing the majority of us to slow down, to rest, to heal, to integrate, and to see what happened the year before, 2021, and where we are now that we are initiating. And thank you, and what we would like to create or become for this year. That's what I feel. But share with me. And I think, is it any light language that you guys would you like me to share? I think I have. Let me start today by saying why I think it's light language, because when I started doing light language, I don't even know what it was. I thought I was going crazy. I felt judged by the people who were close to me because they said I was insane. And I got scared and I rejected. And then I was seeing symbols, having a dream. I was speaking in things that felt weird and scared me because I didn't know what I was saying. And then out of meditation or out of my dream, I didn't know what was happening. So it made me feel insecure, out of control. And I got a long Akashic Records reading with someone who journeyed me into all of my galactic aspects. And she was the one who explained that I was doing light language and I was connecting, and it was part of my journey. And I was, what is that? I heard tongues in church when I was little, when I was a teenager, but it said the same thing I'm doing. because I was just doing it when I was connected. I hope that makes sense. And then she explained to me that it was the same. And then the light language, it was the communication of source throughout our oversoul. I hope that makes sense, because there are some definitions online that I think they are updated. It is in a galactic or angelic or ancient communication system, because in that way I feel, and you guys can disagree, that's completely fine, we are encapsulated what light language can be. Light language, I feel, it's the expression that comes through sound, movement, or symbology when we are connected to the source, like how Abraham Hicks will say it, in your vortex. And because when you are in that connection, that can come through doing yoga. For me, it started coming when I was doing exercise, normal exercise, because I was not thinking. I had my mind blank. And then it was when I started, and I was like, what's going on? And then it was kind of like when my guys knew I had no resistance and they take the advantage, come through. And I was in the treadmill and I was just like, what's going on? Because resistance and feeling not safe and feeling insecure is what will block your channel from finding its own balance. Because my light language is unique to me. It's my source through my oversoul, throughout the aspects from my Akash, whether those are Pleiadian, Mantis, from New Earth, dragons, or maybe it can come Jesus or Mary Magdalene. But let's say that my Jesus is going to be the one for my Akashic records. Maybe someone else's Jesus or Archangel Michael is going to sound completely different, and it's fine, because it's not Jesus as a single person, because we are multidimensional. We all have many aspects. So in the spectrum from darkness to light, that Joshua, Jesus Christ could vibrate from with someone that thinks is a negative entity or somebody who thinks is God. We connect into what we match. Hope that makes sense. Light language, you can fake it. It's natural, comes to you, and you allow it to, but some people could fake it, could pretend it is. And you'll figure it out, because when light language comes in your own authenticity and it's true, and even though it felt weird, you allow yourself to let it flow, whatever who listen to you will have that bliss, pleasure, feeling that I have no idea what you're doing, but it just sparked my heart, or what is it, or where it's come from. If the light language that you are listening to or seeing, or it could be a movement, doesn't feel right, maybe it is that the person is restricting the channel, or maybe it is that you don't resonate with that frequency. Like, for example, some people will prefer Netflix, or like Amazon, or Hulu, or Disney. It's all different streams. I hope that makes sense. So if you think it is unsafe for you, don't do it, because you are not there yet. Because light language is the voice of love aligned with source, coming through a filter that could be fairies, indigo kids from the earth, Pleiadians, I don't know, whatever that my soul has connections with. I hope that makes sense. This is what I believe. So more than an ancient communication system, galactic, angelic, it's more the expression of source in whatever form we allow it to be. I know someone in my family that doesn't do what I do, but is a very religious person. And whenever that person is praying, he just feel like saying, cool, cool, cool. And it's the only thing he allowed himself to do. Some people just said one phrase, and in the same phrase lasted like 10 minutes, and then they said, it's fairies, it's Pleiadians, it's whatever. But it sounds kind of like the same, but it's not about what we said or what you hear. It's about what you feel. So it's about a journey to go within yourself in your own pillar of light and then perceive what that expression is telling to you, even though you don't understand 100% what it's about. I hope that makes sense. Because when galactics speak to me, they may do sounds. Mostly they do it telepathically, and then whatever I'm ready to translate or I'm open, because sometimes we have insecurities that go above and beyond. We all have those things, guys. We all have some moments that we don't feel uncomfortable, and then you just restrict yourself or step back a little bit. And it's a journey of feeling that we are finding our own leadership within, and then whatever comes through is in the way that you allow it to be. But my language has been evolving as I feel more comfortable to be, and it will come through if you're on a frequency of love. Maybe you are making love with your partner, and it will come through because you are both in sacred union. Maybe it will come through because you are doing healing, maybe because you are happy, maybe because something is happening, like they are robbing someone, and then you will just feel the need to share love. You will know when light language needs to be public and what is only for you. And it's not one message. We all have our own message because we all get what we need and what we are ready to receive. So it's always, always safe when it feels good for you, because it means you are ready to receive that. Maybe it is a light language that comes from the 25 dimension, from the higher Elohim, from some universe, but I am scared to the unknown, and not because it's a bad frequency will benefit me, because I'm not open yet. Does that make sense? So use your discernment to practice. It's not about pushing boundaries. It's about being in the balance about what I'm meant to give and what I'm meant to receive. And this is kind of a little bit of courtesy with the energy. It's not about if you should push it or not, or receive it or not. But I think, or at least when I do the sessions, always ask, can I download this? Can I take this? Can I clear? Because I think it's important for us to be sovereign beings of light and be in charge of our own experience. I hope that makes sense. So let's begin. And I have the Council of Light. So the Council of Light means the different frequencies. Thank you so much for the stars. I love you. Are going to come true. I would like to ask you to take few minutes of your day. We are gonna do it, I think, 10 minutes or 15 minutes, just to give you guys the time to let your resistance drop and allow yourself in your own readiness to connect with whatever you can. And without me saying who is coming through, because the Council of Light has galactics, angels, ascended masters, is actually all that it is in frequency with Christ consciousness on source, in a collective of beings of light that support Earth at this time. I want you to, I'm going to do a little bit of movements. If you guys would like to, you can do it with me. And this is just to align your channel, because we're going to use our body. And our body sometimes has resistance. So we're going to do a little bit of breathing. Do it with me in your own way. You guys can watch me and then practice later. Or do it in whatever way you can. Sometimes you are going to burp or cough or feeling like your voice is gone, things like that. It's normal because a higher frequency is using your throat. So anything that you feel, interact with the energy and ask. For me, my boundaries, it is no one comes through unless I know who it is, where it's coming from, what I am learning, what is the lesson for that connection, and how I can get rid of you if I don't resonate with. Yes. But also, I always, at least twice a day, ask my higher self to be in charge. And I ask my body after COVID, I add that, to honor space. And I always say to my body that I'm grateful because we can have a journey together. And if my body needs anything, that I will be open to know what I need to do. Like for me now, I feel like I'm thirsty. So because your body is the temple of your soul and your light, and any connection you have, whether you enjoy it or don't enjoy it, dark or light, comes through your body. We're going to breathe a little bit and allow our body to give us the consent to bring that light and receive whatever we need. It could be healing, clearing, balancing, or an activation. Whatever you need now that you are ready to receive, that serves you for the highest good, but also everyone else. Before opening any channel, set your intentions. Okay? So let me drink my tea. Put yourself comfortable. I appreciate the stars, the comments, the shares, everything. If you can donate or can give stars, it doesn't matter. Just by being here, this is a space that my guys push me to do as a free service for whoever need it, for whoever feel like resonate with it. So let's begin. I'm gonna give you a few minutes instructions so you relax and attune, do it in your own way, and then light language will flow. You can repeat back what I'm saying, or you can just tune into what you feel and then comment what you felt or what you think it is using your intuition. And then if you have any question, and then it will go with the flow. Okay, and then I'm gonna read your comments later. So just breathe light in whatever color works out for you. And if you want to, put your hands in a prayer position. Try to be straight, whether you are standing up or sitting. Adjust the volume, the space. Ask your mind to cooperate. We're going to ask our body to give the consent. We are adjusting our energy at all aspects. So just breathe. Hold the light, the oxygen, and then when exhale, whatever is resistant, block, stress, tire, just let it go. And now if you feel guided, you can move your hands in whatever way. So I'm moving my hands up, and that represents that I am increasing my energy and I am shifting into receiving mode. And I just breathe and I source to bring to me all I need now and all we need as a collective into my pillar of light, that I'm ready to receive whatever is in the highest and in the best to come true. I'm going to move my hands so I'm comfortable, and I'm going to put my palms open because I'm sitting. I am putting myself in a comfortable position on top of my knees. My back is straight. so my chakras can flow together. I breathe, I take my time. Nothing needs to be rushed. Everything happens when it's meant to happen. Enjoy the connection with myself, and I will ask my higher self to be in charge. Take my personality, rattle my soul, my own desires and needs and strengths and lacks, and put it in a healing chamber, while my vessel is a pure conduct for unconditional love and pure source consciousness for all of us together. And I will ask each of your higher self and guides to assist you on whatever you need, to guide me, to lead me into whatever it's meant to be expressed or flow today. And only the highest, but only what we are ready. We want to reach balance, not pushing boundaries, not forcing. If you guys feel like forcing, out of alignment, disconnected, go back to your breathing, and then you can ask or just stop and trying to reconnect again. This takes practice. So let's just breathe in a comfortable way. Bring the light in. In this case, I feel the light coming throughout my crown and going all the way down, grounding me at the end throughout my root, and then goes all around, and then enters again and again. And I can visualize a color. I can allow my color to change like a rainbow if I need it. Whatever I want to do, each of you are in charge today. But you are connected to the higher aspect of you. So whatever comes through is going to be in harmony. You may receive guidance. You may receive an inspired action. You may just receive a break. Calm, peace, love. So we're going to breathe source and exhale. Whatever is meant to release, try to be aware. There is no need to rush. Try to feel what represents for you. Feel pleasurable, relaxing. Normally I will feel like slowing down. My voice will go slower and slower. Sometimes I change. You guys are balancing each other connection. So only love and light can come through. Thank you for being open for this transmission. Use your intuition and your discernment to know what you are receiving today. Mekia tako se ki eshka niki ikiata okore ase kumanikia koti iki ashka konikieka ika ti esako nima ti ikiara toro ose ki ashka kuma ki ate iki ishka kuti iki asako mina oko ekiate aka ashkuriyama kurikiata sakoniashna mina ki ashka ku ni ete ashka kuma nasa ki a ishna o a iki nasa kori ashka. If you feel like you're replying back in your own way, making movements, or just receiving or speaking back, allow yourself to flow in the way that you feel you should reconnect. Ni a eska ko ki ashka su nima ni a te akoria sako iki eshka uku iki ashka niyama kuria sara te iki ashka ko ni ma. Maha ya saha ya ki ha hoi na saha inna hawaii hi nia sehash ahwa inna ha ya saha waha hui inna saha hu niha te eshka kuma ekiata kori asara ashka neha seha niha ha mu niana oku kite eshka kori asananama mu eti ashka ku ashka mahaha kuria saki ishka kiate mu iya husaha niha maia hu ama iaka oku niha hu ma te ashka hei niha hui niha muhaha ika inihaha te asaho mihaha te ase homa ho ha ni hai asa homa ni ha homa he ni he maha hiha huha naha hiha ho ma ha hi ha ho. Oh my yeah. Yani asha kukitia biara kuturu mama nesikia ta ashka kuru kashka diketare sere kana maniki aka hu ha ha ingi kitikisha ma sia he na ya o ya ma o ya he ashka ma ni ya ti ha mamma ni atakeda samaya kiyashka da wa ma ha niha takakate ki ashka maha wa na ha wa hiya sahu ki ashka maha hiya te asaha mama kuti asa wa ma na neha ma na ta ki ta mama te yasa niha maha niha taha tia maha nia. Ma ia te hoa tia kiasa homa na a te kiashka kunia nakaka e te ashkaria sa homa nea te hasaha oika ia te ashka tu ma a ika nasa Hiaya, Ua, Boru, Hura, Diriasa, Kuma, Iki Ashka, Nihasa, Uiate, Koni, Maha Ese, Iki Ashka, Kuti Asa, Hoku, Miniata, Koria Sara, Iki Ashka, Kuteta, Ma, Hei, Haina, Kuta ashka kunana isai ki ishkata kusa maku iti iki asaha kutna ni ate iki ashka makiasa kwai kiate ishka makiate ukwa ikiawa awatia sai ki ishka saki ashka maya kianana mikati ashka kuikia tekia sako ina aki ashka nia saku ashka ki ete sako akiaka Nia saku ate ki ashka te iki asako imate ya kia kokia ta ashka huku ite isaka ama ia nia seki ashka hu ate iki ashka umai kia se iki ashka u ete asako ma iate ishka ma ikia ka te iki ashka mu ha ikiana uama I aseaka ma ahaka iki ashka humahaya te ashka umiana neate miaka titiasa ko iki maha nihase iki ashka ukwa iaya uanaya seaka ni ate eseke iki ashka te mihaha I na ate esa oko ashka Niha seki ishka kiete iki aka ma ni eseki Nihasa o waita kashkara ni nyantara sara wakiaka muha I taashka kute ku masiha Yasa hiashka ni maha huma huriate hisa ku ashka nihasa kiate iasemai kiashka nihasa kuriate iki ashka miti ieseko iki ashka ma niasa oko ni itiasa oko itiaka ashka mai kianaki eteki kuriasa kumaya kiashka ma heyata seko kiashka mai kiana kuitiashka ma huitiaka mama te iki ashka te ese maha ka tututuase muniate kuriasa kuma kiashka kutieshke ma I na te kute kumayaka mune niate aki ashka ni asa kumate iashka. Oh. So just connect with your own silence. The sound keeps sounding even we don't physically hear. Breathe into your heart and integrate whatever you receive today. Breathe, recalibrate, integrate, and try to scan your body and notice if it is a shift, an adjustment, tingling sensation. If you feel pain, something uncomfortable, just breathe light in, sending the light into that part of your body, grounding your roots into the fifth dimensional new earth, that it is the easiest and most loving and simple frequency to channel light. Ti asaki arako ashka, ti asaki neki ashka komai kiana te ashka. And just breathe. See yourself. We're gonna close with this. We're gonna breathe the light that we receive in the form of frequencies of love. Hold it for a couple seconds and send it to the reality that you experience, the aspects of light that you feel trigger, maybe government, maybe the health department, maybe your country, maybe family, maybe things within yourself, or things that you see in the collective, maybe social media, news, whatever that you think it will benefit from receiving love. Reconnect with your heart. You can bring the light as if you are a vacuum or a magnet. You hold it in your heart, and then from your heart you send it like a beacon of light into whatever is ready to receive it. Maybe people that has COVID, maybe people in hospitals, maybe people in jail, maybe people who are in depression, suffering addiction, drugs, people in the dark night of the soul, whoever feels alone, whatever this light can be a benefit, but guys are saying that only whoever gives consent to receive it, because this will be done from higher self to higher self. Guys, my guy said that it's very important to respect everyone else's wishes, so no one receives nothing that is open to receive. It could be conscious or unconscious. If a situation that you receive something unconsciously happened without you asking for it or remembering that you give consent, it is because your soul or higher self did on behalf of you. But what guys would like us, and this is I think all of our guys to practice, is learning to be your own leader. Being in charge of our own experience, whether that it is in spirituality or in day-to-day life. They would like to close by saying that light language is like a blank check that you can cash with the amount that you need in that moment that you desire. And it will always be in the highest good for yourself, but also everyone else, because everyone else receive what they need, even though collectively you all have a common and shared message. Like this one, it was an initiation or light language class practice, but each of you receive what you needed and only what you were asking for. In the answer, the Ikeyashka, your guides are now grounding you. In the present moment, we ask you to breathe and be aware about the holiness beneath your feet, the sacred light that touches your back, your shoulders, the blessings coming in and out through your heart, your belly, grounding and anchoring in stability, harmony. And you will receive your connection as long as you tune into your universe within. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna step back now. That was good. I enjoyed it. I was very, honestly, because I'm very transparent, I was very nervous to do this because it was a new thing for me, even though I go live all the time. I didn't prepare anything. I just show up because I had so many inspired actions to do this, and I was holding myself because of whatever resistance, insecurity, and then I got COVID. And then even though I don't have COVID anymore, I still cough. Sometimes I lose my breath. Every time less and less and less, but my throat, it isn't in the highest good. And by guides making me did sounds, I think it was healing for me, but at the same time, sounds that comes that may don't represent a song or something like that, it is because they are attuning something. It's like the light begins as an idea. Normally it is a question like what I am and what I can be, and that idea normally vibrates in a very positive frequency, that it's like action. But that action needs a stage where it can become a creation. And that stage is where darkness comes into the equation, and then that light will have a spectrum in the yin and yang, or balance or infinity symbol, going back and forth between the light and the dark, that the darkness only represents expansion at the energy level. It isn't a bad energy. It is necessary. It's a necessary like ingredient for the light not to get stagnant or block, not knowing how to do that action that wants to do. Does that make sense? So at the energy level, light and dark, that the light is positive and the dark is negative, will commingle together in different formulas and chemistries, finding balance. At the source level, what I feel, what I can understand, because I don't know everything, what I'm learning, I'm sharing with you guys. So Encoded Frequency is kind of like my diary, sharing whatever is happening to me, and I'm learning and what I'm teaching, and then you guys perceive whatever that benefits you. At the energy level, the goal is neutrality, balance, and that it is the source field that represents the 0-point field that represents source, that it means that that creation, it was a benefit for all that it is. But all other creations that maybe we perceive as mistakes, errors, karma, bad luck, or whatever, it was just different opportunities to try in different ways for the soul or the spark of light to see, what if I do this? And at the soul level or at the energy level, failure or imperfection doesn't exist, because imperfection or failure or mistake or error is what let the soul knows, maybe that doesn't work the way I expected, so maybe I should not try that again. Does that make sense? It's like when you are a kid and then you see fire and you maybe are a toddler and then you feel drawn to put your hand, and then your mom or dad said, hey, you're gonna put yourself, step back. But because you're a kid and you're eager to experience everything, you don't care, and anyway go and put your hand into the fire. But then you burn yourself, and then you said, oh my God, mom and dad were right, I shouldn't do that again. So we make a note, don't ever put your hand in the fire, or don't ever marry with Pablo again because he cheated on me, or don't ever use drugs because you had a shitty life, or whatever. So all of those notes becomes our Akashic records, the history of our soul. And this is what the higher self is. The higher self, it is the guardian who all of those notes that could be positive or negative, of do's and don'ts that we perceive, will I enjoy them or not, if that makes sense. So between all of those lifetimes, we have all different experience. And normally what I have found out, it is we kind of ended doing the things that we prefer the most. Like, for example, maybe someone can feel attracted to a black person or a white person or a shabby person, or I like skinny or tall or whatever. It's not that a taller or a shorter is better, it's just the preference that you have, because it means that you have done it in many lifetimes, the same formula, and it was successful for you. I hope that makes sense. So going back to light language, if you feel drawn to, if you would like to learn, you guys can join me. I will post to do this, and then go with your own flow. It's not about pushing yourself, because I did it and it doesn't work. I did it when I started. It's not about trying to be someone else or copy, because I did that and it doesn't work. It's like having a recipe for a turkey and wanted to fix a car with the same recipe. It doesn't work. Whatever works out for other person, it was the recipe for that person. But when we try to copy or imitate whoever we would like to be are doing, normally it doesn't work, because it's not designed for us. Does that make sense? That's why sometimes we could have low self-esteem or things, because we're trying to be or do or behave like the way the artists are doing, or whatever people that has been successful according to whatever program we have. But light language is about being authentic, and it's about reconnecting with whatever. If something that comes through feels very low, maybe it is because you haven't noticed that you have a weak spot, or that you have a shadow aspect that is asking for healing. So everything is going to be a message for you, and is going to be a sign that let you know where you are. If you open your channel and let's say that you're gonna see a movie, and the movie is a romantic one, maybe it's telling you that you are ready to get married again with your partner and renew your vows, or to meet your soulmate. But when you open your channel as a scary movie, then maybe it's time for you to declare yourself and do a clearing. Whatever that happens, when you interact with a light or meditation or light language, because light language is more powerful because we don't know. And because we're not using our mind, it will do more fast than when we do a meditation with instructions. Someone asked me, I fell asleep with your meditation and I couldn't follow your instructions. You would think it worked? Of course it worked. You fell asleep because you had a lot of resistance, that the energy allowed you to be unconscious, so they can work on you without you trying to lead the boat. Does that make sense? So whatever happens, it always in divine plan, even though it is a thing that we don't enjoy and is going to be always for your own benefit, but also the benefit of everyone else. I hope that makes sense. Everything. My guy said one time, even I was in a session and it was things that we don't enjoy. That person lost someone and guy said, even death is part of the divine plan. I hope that makes sense. Let me see if I can. Thank you so much for the stars. Let me see if I can answer one of your questions, and then Chelsea, you're ready to receive healing. Light language is always healing, and I am always healing. Even though I'm not doing nothing psychically, kind of like my aura, it automatically will balance everything that it is touching me. I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much, Patricia. Appreciate it. Georgina, I heard light language may not be for everyone. Exactly, it's not for everyone. Only if you feel drawn to. That's an excellent comment. Meaning that is not part of the soul agreement. Yes, it is true. If you don't feel drawn to anything, it's not part of your soul contract. Even if you feel drawn to drugs, it's part of your experience. If you don't feel I have never used drugs or mushrooms or ayahuasca or anything. I don't feel like I need it. I understand, and sometimes guys suggest it, people that do things like that, but I don't think I need it, so it's not part of my own journey. But divine plan, the contracts can be constantly changed in a second. Nothing is set on stone, guys. Nothing. We have free will and we are always in charge, even though sometimes we feel we have no control. We do. We do at the degree that we create chaos to feel that we are not in control. I hope that makes sense. I am very excited to learn that language, says Jackie. Well, practice is the best advice that I can give. Yes, Ellie, thank you so much. Look, I'm COVID negative, but my body, I noticed that I'm a hard worker because I'm a Virgo. I love to work. I love it, especially work that I love like this one. So I'm always doing something, and if I don't have anything to do, I will invent something to do. I am always in action. Like I kind of like align myself to action. But now that I had COVID, I cannot. I have to take breaks and rest because my body is just like, hell no, we're not going there. And then I noticed that I need to sleep more than 9 or 10 hours so my body restore itself. I'm listening to my body and I'm learning what to do. But there are some timelines that are being created where COVID doesn't go beyond 2022. We're not sure what we're going to choose collectively, but yesterday I saw that in my own guidance, that my guy said in some timelines COVID it's done in this year. Hopefully we're choosing that. Thank you so much, Julie. Will light language come to us effortlessly, or we do to seek it? Well, that's an excellent question. Look, for me, it came without my conscious Grotto was asking for it. I was like activated by intervention. And then I had to figure out how to do it in a balanced way. Because when I started doing life language, it sounded very itchy, and it was like if I was a robot. I was like, something like that, and I was just like, geez, Gretel, what is that? And I think if it will come effortlessly or in the hard way, it all depends on the confidence, trust, faith, and allowness we have. I hope that makes sense, because for me at the time I was very insecure about myself, and I didn't want people to know, and it took me a while. It was kind of like out of the closet when I told my family, and when I told my family, it was like not a big deal. Like they already knew, and I was just like, oh, all my struggle for nothing, right? So sometimes we make stories in our mind and we choose the hard way, but everything, when you align with ascension, when you would like to ascend into a new earth, the journey shouldn't be struggle and that karma and I have to save all these people. It should not be, because that's all new age way. It should be you aligned with love and all that it is, and then you flow with effortlessly way, because new age frequency is blissful, it's joyful. Sometimes it feels like orgasmic a little bit. It's strong and it's soft at the same time, and you will feel a little bit like, at least for me, like being high. Like you need some seconds like to ground, because doing a meditation or connecting in 5D, for me, I need a couple seconds to see, okay, where I am, okay, I'm human again, and then integrate my experience. But again, set your intentions, ask your intuition if you should seek it or allow it to flow. But if you are here, I think it's meant to be, and it's meant to flow in whatever way you want it to. It's like when you want to get married and you said, we're going to do it on the beach. We're going to do an expensive weather. No, we're just going to go ourselves and our family. It doesn't matter in whatever way you get married. It's about what the people is choosing to do it, if that makes sense. So reconnect with your intuition, ask for a sign, and then you will know what to do. It's all about connection, guys. It's all about connection. And that connection needs to be practiced. Some people comes out of the blue because they were born with that, especially the kids that are being born right now and the ones that are going to be born. But normally, at least in my generation, because I'm 42, I kind of have to practice, not because I don't have it within me, because I don't trust I can do it, or because I don't feel confident. So the more I practice, the more I feel like in my own element, and the more I allow myself to explore it. I hope that makes sense. Well, COVID taught me a lot of things, a lot, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all the things that I learned, and I think if I were born again, I would choose to have it again. Shannon is asking how I can become more in tune with my gifts. As simple as practice your own connection, because we're all different. Maybe my formula, as I said before, won't work for you. So try different techniques about how you can tune into your own source, your own soul, your own guides. Not when everyone else is saying, not even me, just take whatever serves, and then girl is wrong, hate it, dislike her, right, and follow her, whatever. Whatever does not resonate with you, or whatever does resonate with you, go for it. But the practice of discernment, it's about taking a couple seconds to choose when you have different options about what to do, and then choosing what will make you happy as the most. Sometimes none of the choices we enjoy it, but in this case, it will be the one that will represent the less resistance. I hope that makes sense. It's about, again, learning to be our own guide, our own leader. So I choose what I want to create in my reality. It's not what the astrologer says is going to happen to me, or whoever channels. It is what I want to happen, so I'm going to create it, so I'm going to go for it in whatever way I can. It's all about inspire action. It's not about action just because. It's like throwing money through the garbage. We discern in which things you're going to use the money, right? It's the same with your energy. It's about becoming in charge of your own company and then being in tune with what you feel you should do. And this is why light language is perfect, because we don't understand 100%, and it's not meant to be understood 100%. From the whole energy, you kept feeling. That feeling is what is going to transmit a message. And this is how telepathy works. You maybe said, I think maybe it was Arcturians because I saw a very intense purple, and because I like Arcturians, I think it was. So you can ask, whatever come to me, was it Arcturian? And then sense, muscle test, or do the pendulum, or whatever technique help you to know you are being accurate with what you are feeling. The practice to have accuracy comes from simple things that doesn't represent resistance, like, is that man the love of my life? If you ask that, maybe you're not going to have a clear answer, because sometimes we have resistance to those things. But you can ask, for example, should I drink plain water or a ginger tea? And then wait. You have to put yourself in receiving mode so you discern what's coming, what you can understand. But that requires practice. I'm going to do, I think, one more question because I did this too long. And then if you guys want to, we can do it next week, same time. And then every day we're going to learn something new. Hazel is asking, I have for a while been saying loudly, "ee," and without stopping to breathe. And it's gone on ages and echoing in my head. Normally, Hazel, actually, that's a very good question. It is like tuning to yourself, and I think it hasn't evolved because at some point you don't allow that "ee" to become a song or a phrase or a word, like the person I told you in my family that only says "coo, coo, coo, coo," right? Because when there are things that we're not used to, at least my personality, at least Gretel, I resist a little bit because I haven't tried that and I don't know what to do. So it's important to set boundaries. With the energy always says, no one can come through unless I know who it is, where it comes from, what is the lesson, and how I can get rid of you if I don't like you. When I channel like I did right now, I had different frequencies. They show me their faces and then I say, okay, you. But they are asking me because it's my body, it's my life. It's not that because they are in 7 or 9 dimension, they are more than me. No, they are not, because they are my family. Whoever will comes through you, it's going to be from your oversoul, even though it is a shadow aspect. It's not because you guys were in break that a shadow come through, sneak, and then attach to you, and then you said, oh my God, I just had an entity, I don't know what to do. Where my guys? You guys give the permission because it was a pre-agreement, so that entity will teach you something and will receive something in benefit, probably going back to source. I hope that makes sense. Everything is part of the plan that we are choosing at the higher level, sometimes unconsciously, to manifest in this reality. So the best advice I can give to you guys is know your channel, because we're all transmitters, especially empathic people. We're like antennas. And then ask, okay, Is it sadness mine? Is it from that lady? Who is it? Is it from this life? Is it from another life? What I need to do to take it off? Do I need to have a break? To do comedy movie? Do I need to take a nap or whatever? So it I can allow that sadness to get rid of. But the more that you practice being in tune with the energy, the more that you feel confident and strong and empowered to do whatever you want to do or whatever it needs to be done. I hope that makes sense. For me, entities was a huge thing because I was so afraid. And then once in a while, I'm going to have an entity. I'm going to have a nightmare or something. And I think it was like 6 months ago, I was in the astral, and then I saw an entity come in, and I got upset, and I said, what if I have balls of light in my hands, and I start shooting, because in the astral, you can do whatever you want to. Because it's in your soul. You can become a dragon, a monster, you can become alien or a goddess and look very sexy. And then I started shooting balls of light, and I was just like boom, 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 like if I was Rambo. And then I felt like my guys pulled me out and wake me up, and I was just like, dude, I got it, I was killing it, the monster. Why did you intervene? But maybe they intervened because when I was shooting, I was doing it because I got upset with the entity. I wasn't doing it in balance, if that makes sense. So because I was out of balance, they took me away. We are always protected, always. And when we feel not protected, it is because we're learning something. So we have always, and every guide or every entity is going to be a reflection of you, including the humans that sometimes trigger us or we don't have patience. That is something that is reflecting upon that we are wanting at a higher level to experience. So go with your own flow, practice being your own self, listening to the energy. Then if you would like to activate or improve your life language for whatever purposes, the more you listen into, the more activated you will be. The more you allow to flow as it's meant to be without controlling the flow, the more activated you will be. Thank you all for being here. I enjoyed so much. I couldn't go through all of those questions, but hopefully you guys received whatever you needed today. And next week at the same time, we're going to do it. And then tomorrow it's service day, but it's going to be questions from your guides. And it is at, if I remember correctly, 12 p.m. Mountain Time. So thank you so much for all the support. Have a beautiful weekend. The most important thing I think we're meant to do as humans is having fun, enjoying the flow, relaxing in your own element. So don't forget to do at least one thing that represents that you are enjoying the journey. Many blessings.